Hey. Welcome to episode 281 of the Jas Takhar podcast. You're in us for a special treat. I got my business partner with me, Mr. Simeon, Papailias, and we're going to be taking your questions. Now, to get your question answered, though, in future episodes, you got to go to meetjastakhar.com/podcast. meetjastakhar.com/podcast. All right, Bobo, let's get into the first question.
All right. The first question is from someone called Omer. How do I grow my real estate business as a new agent?
Well, as my guest today, Mr. Simeon Papailias, I'm going to let you take that first, and then I'll answer it. So question was, how do I grow my business as a new agent?
I think that's not a difficult question to answer, but it is difficult for any new agent to kind of decide where they want to go in this business. There is thousands of different paths someone can take, because when we say real estate, it's easy to assume we're talking about, regular residential homes, and how to infiltrate that space and grow a name for yourself and grow your business. But inside just the regular residential space, there is different asset classes. There is, small condos, established condos, senior living condos. There is regular neighborhoods. There is different areas and neighborhoods where there's huge employer nodes where you can focus on any one given employer, such as Amazon, where you become a specific housing provider to the workforce that they require. So there's just so many hundreds or thousands of ways that you can carve this business up, where somebody can decide, how do I grow my specific type of business? But from a context in general, I got my license, I'm in real estate. What do I do? The truth of the matter is you need to build a network. This is the people's business. This is the service business, which means this is the value business. If you want to be a commodity, you will be treated as such, and you will be rewarded and remunerated as such. If you believe that you are worth somebody's attention because you can help change their lives and the way they operate, that is called building your unique value proposition. And that, of course, is going to effectively build the type of business that you want, providing the type of service that is valued for its specific merit. And that is how a new agent can start carving out business.
Would you say, really quickly, just to follow up, and then I'll answer something as well, would you say, as a new agent, just got my license yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do I do?
Well, how do I grow my business was the question, but you answered it really, really well and in depth. The follow-up I have for you really quickly, which I think that will bring even more value, sorry, would you go in the niche? The saying, the riches is in the niches? Are you a believer of that for a newer agent? Because then you spoke about the segmentations of different types of niches you can get into as an agent.
100% I do believe that.
Okay.
I think the be-all, do-all approach results in a very shallow business where it's never appreciated or developed to the point of where somebody who is a specialist, an expert, as a new agent, you want to get from new agent to valuable as soon as possible. That's the game. Mm-hmm. Just think of it this way. If you, Jas, just came out of the licensing body, you have to compete against me.
Yep. Well, in the GTA, you have 77,000 as well, right?
But you have to compete against me. Mm-hmm. And that is everybody's stance. Mm-hmm. So just like I have to compete against this new person, whatever value you bring to the market, nobody knows yet. Mm-hmm. The quicker people know what your value is the quicker your business is going to grow. Yep. So I'm not speaking in circles or in theory. You need to understand what you want to do. Why did you choose the real estate business? Yep. What value proposition do you think you can deliver upon? We, as business partners, know this all too well. 17 years ago, you were already in the business for 3 years. I was already in the business for 2. But when we met, we made a very, very specific choice that, yes, we sell residential homes. Yes, I sold businesses, whatever the case may be. But together, we saw that huge void in the investment space where retail residential investors did not have a go-to resource team to fulfill upon their goals. And we decided to create educational workshops, seminars, events, resources, and we took that space over to the point that we became the largest team in the country for the retail residential investment space.
So to that point, that's actually, I think, where my answer would lie as well in terms of how to grow your business, which is the stuff that you said, educational workshops, setting up appointments, obviously now with social media. Back then, we didn't even have any of that stuff. But I still think my answer to that question, just to give something different than what Simos did, and that's going to be kind of how we play this out anyways, even though that, yes, we are business partners, so we are macro theses, I don't know if they call it theses, theses are obviously going to be quite similar. I would go back to the basics, which is to do your educational workshops, to set up your appointments and all that kind of stuff, to do social media, you need some type of network, right? And so your CRM is, I say the word CRM, let me not use big words, your cell phone, actually. Sure. Just start with the letter A. And I think to grow your business as a new agent, which is quite simple because as a new agent, you're at zero. And to grow it would mean if you did one deal, let's just get to the first deal. And to do that, I feel like the highest probability is with the people that already know you and like you. And so to grow your business, you're going to find it right in your cell phone. Next.
Okay, the next question is from Arman. How to effectively build a clientele outside of social media?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take this one first, Simos, sure. and then you kind of overlay your answer. I kind of just touched on it with the first question. How to build your network outside of social media. It's going to be starting off with your cell phone. There is still, and as I was just saying it, I was like, you know what? I don't talk a lot about the fact that cold calling and door knocking and open houses, the stuff that's always worked in this business, are still very amazing prospecting activities and ways to build out your network. Because if you go knock on doors, even the neighborhood that you live in, let alone if you get just slightly strategic with it, meaning that if someone sold a property in your office or you just sold a property or someone sold it on your team, in fact, if anybody sold a property anywhere, doesn't matter what office they're with, if you just knock on those doors and you come at it with a slightly different tact than, hey, are you thinking about selling? How about trying to bring them value, the person's house that you're knocking on, and suggest maybe that you are putting on community events. Maybe it's, hey, did you just want to know moving forward so you don't have to have anybody knocking on your door, what's happening with values? Out of 10 doors, I'm telling you, one is going to say yes. Not all 10, one is going to say yes. It's another way for you to grow your network without being on social media. What do you got there, buddy?
Well, I think what you just said is not only accurate, I want to take it back a step to interpret what you just said. If you're looking to grow your business outside social media, first and foremost, social media alone is a very bad idea, because social media alone, TikTok can go down tomorrow, Instagram can go up and sideways tomorrow, Facebook and the next Facebook and the next platform. If you're going to hinge or hang your hat on any one specific technology, good luck to you as the world evolves and changes. Building your business outside of social media, you mentioned open houses, door knocking, things that have always worked. The reason those things have always worked and will always work is because, once more, this is the people business. When you go to an open house, you have inbound traffic of people who are looking in the area, literally walking in. Just by the fact that they're there means they're interested in this home, this type of home, this area, this type of area that affords this school, this type of school. It gives you instantly 15, 20, 30 points that you can connect instantly with. Open house. Door knocking is you're taking the war to them. My name is Simeon Papailias. I live down the street. My name is Simeon Papailias. I love this neighborhood. I aspire to live here, and I want to get to know you, every single person in this area, the agents who sell in this area, how they sell in this area. If you're new, if you're old, I'm doing a takeover of this area. You can speak in any way, shape, or form, but you need to speak.
Yeah.
Meaning, knock on the door, there is an answer. Knock on the door, invite to a workshop. Knock on the door, provide value.
And I actually think right now is a great opportunity to knock on doors. I don't get people knocking on my doors right now. It's been a long time. So I think there's some opportunity to that.
But you have to be strategic.
Yeah.
Remember, like it is 2025.
Yeah.
People are more wary than ever. The society as a whole has shifted as far as, how we treat somebody who comes to our door, what our opinions are of that. We have to be intelligent. We have to be strategic. And one of the biggest ways that even in from training our agents to our public advice to the industry, because we do so many pieces, like my door knocking strategy that I teach, that I lead the market with, is around charity. So if anybody's looking to get into door knocking, in geographical farming, think of an 8-week campaign. An 8-week campaign that will change your actual life. Because you're going to pick a charity that you hold dear and near, or that you believe your clients would. I mean, if this is, a dog neighborhood,
sure,
maybe the SPCA is a good idea.
Yep.
If it is close to whatever the
kids, like sick kids, anything, right?
Pick something that you hold near and dear. And the first time you go out to hit 100 homes, you're going to simply have a piece of literature with you, along with a bag, a tote bag, a reusable tote bag, where you simply state that I'm here today. My name is Simeon. I'm a realtor. I live in this neighborhood. This is my neighborhood. I'm here only to ask you for one thing. I'm doing a charity drive, and I'm raising funds, or I'm collecting cans, or I'm whatever the ask is. I don't need you to do anything now. They're not home. Hang the bag that explains your purpose. But regardless, you are leaving behind an ask.
Yep.
And the ask is not for you.
Yeah.
It is for the greater good. It is for the betterment of that specific community and for the betterment of our world.
Yep.
So no matter what, I don't care what you believe in or who you are, when you strike 100, 200, 500 homes in a matter of 3, 4, 5 weeks, when you go back on the Friday, if you dropped it off on the Sunday and you go back next Saturday to pick it up, 5, 6 out of 10 homes are going to have a bag waiting for you, or they're going to pick up the door because they saw your picture, they recognize you in their camera, and they're going to come to the door. They're going to say thank you for doing this.
And there's going to be people who it doesn't even resonate with, but you just got to be okay with that as well, right? Because
who are you that you wouldn't be?
Well,
of course.
We're talking about somebody who's maybe even newer in the business. Sure. They just don't get it. You know what I mean?
Of course, nobody will always get everyone.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, you left them with a reusable bag. Hopefully they'll use it. Maybe that reusable bag sat on their counter for 3-4 days, where your brand with your picture or whatever the case may be made some impressions.
Yeah.
For those who thank you when you're picking up and you knock on the door, thank you so much for contributing. That's it.
That's it.
Because when you go back to knock on the door the following week to say, hi, your neighbor at 1738 just sold.
Yeah.
I want to keep you posted because this is my neighborhood. Just like I raise money for this neighborhood, I work this neighborhood. If you or anybody you know is looking for a home in this neighborhood, please call me.
Yeah.
If you ever have any questions about who to use, what restaurant to go to, every single restaurant down the block are my friends.
Yep.
This is where I do my business.
Yep.
Get passionate.
Yep.
Create ownership.
100% enthusiasm. We always say that
understand why you're in the business.
The top salespeople will always go from failure to failure with the same amount of enthusiasm. Yeah. So when you say, another word, being passionate about it, what I really enjoyed about what you said there is that this is an 8-week campaign.
Yeah.
Essentially, it could be a fucking every week campaign for the rest of your life, where you're just knocking on doors. And I think it's so important to what you said is like, don't start off with 2,000 homes. Do fucking 50.
Yes.
Go to 100.
Own them.
Go to 200.
Own
the 50. You'll have 3-4 deals in there of people who want to move, also with people that they know that want to move as well. Bo?
Okay, the next question we got is from Essen. And the question says, with the way the economy is going and everyone is on edge right now, what's the best way to connect with your database in 2025 to get business and also spread positivity?
Simos, I'll let you take that first, man.
Well, I'll tell you straight off the bat, if there's nothing positive to talk about, find something positive to talk about. If you want to be a beacon of positivity and hope, you need to be a beacon of positivity and hope. In trying markets like the one we're in right now, because 2025, I don't care what anybody says, is not going to be the year of the rebound of real estate. People are struggling.
I agree.
Jobs out there are hurt. Tariffs may be coming, all this nonsense. You focus on the nonsense, you're going to get nonsense. You focus on reminding first and foremost, you need to be there for your database. So you don't hide from the bad news. You confront the bad news. And we, who are partners, we remind our clients every day. Whether the news cycle is bad, whether the economy is horrible, whether it's amazing, we still have to move. People get married, people get born, people pass away, people live their lives in a good market or a bad market. We, as real estate professionals, need to be there for our clients when they need us, not when we think they need us. So by creating a message of omnipresence, reminding your clients that whether in this great market or whether in this horrible market, I am the constant. I am the constant. I will be there for you in the good times and the bad. I will be there to guide you and help you make the best decisions for you, no matter what the tariffs are doing, no matter who the prime minister is, no matter all the things, remind them as to who you are and what you stand for. That is my message to my database through the last 2 years and will continue to be through 2025.
I think there's always a time to just sit back and find the silver lining, right?
For sure.
What you said is that if there's nothing positive, find it. But that in itself is very important because most people would just quickly go to, well, there's nothing positive. No, there is always always something positive. And in the real estate market, as a real estate agent, yes, to Simeon's point, and I completely agree that 2025 is not going to be this massive rebound. I think that's just, I don't even know if that's optimism that people are speaking with. I think it's quite delusional. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. However, the silver lining is for real estate investors specifically. Every single time there's been a downturn in the market, compelling buying opportunities have always shown up. Always shown up. The amount of deals that we're working on, our clients are looking at, that is like, oh shit, I can get this for a couple of $100,000 less if you still believe in the fundamentals. Now, if you don't believe in the fundamentals or your database is not believing in the fundamentals, I think one way to the question from our listener in terms of how to bring them value is you have to be present, and you do that by putting on webinars on a weekly basis, a bi-weekly basis at minimum.
Creating coalitions of the willing inside your database. I want to mention something that you were the champion of. You brought this into our lives.
I can't remember which
was stop convincing, start sorting.
Yes. Yeah.
If you have people in your database that simply do not believe in the market, are naysayers no matter what, segment them and put them in a box and deal with them the way you need to deal with them.
Well, essentially, it's just, and it's not even a negative thing that
what's
you're saying.
Outside of the box that's left. By sorting them, you have also sorted here. And now you put on the webinar, the education, the presenting those opportunities that only show themselves in a market such as this.
And one quick story when we talked about being present even in downturns. I think what we've done really, really well is even in COVID, when we went into lockdown, we called every single client in our database, and didn't say, hey, what are you thinking about the real estate market? We said, hey, what's your thoughts like in terms of, do you need anything? Is there family members in your home that might need some medicine? Because everybody was scared.
No, this was
to leave
the
house.
Early days, yes.
I'm talking like the first fucking 2 weeks.
And nobody knew.
Exactly. And we said, look, we feel like we can still go help in terms of maybe getting groceries. We have older people in our database.
Yeah.
They were scared to leave the house. We weren't even leaving ourselves, but we're like, we're pretty quick with technology. We can get groceries sent over. We can get whatever it may be. We'll help you.
Yeah, it sounds extreme now because we all know how it turned out.
100%.
But back then,
we were washing our fucking vegetables and the packaging in the grocery bags. You know what I'm saying? So like we were really extreme, right? But looking back now, I think we're a little less, I think it's almost 5 years now. In a couple of months, it's going to be 5 years since those phone calls, man, and since lockdown. But what happened afterwards? Here's why. When you start to think about other people more than you think about yourself, and that I think is really, in an essence, the definition of bringing value. You're thinking about other people more than you're thinking about yourself. 5 years later, and within the last 5 years, we had a whole bunch of business coming to us. Me and Simos didn't do it to get business. We thought the world was going to shut down for the rest of our lives. So it wasn't like we were doing it for business. We were like, holy fuck, we have a client, XYZ. She's really old, man. Like, she's not going to be able to leave the house. We started
it was an
right?
incredible time.
So
you actually
really
just
cool.
brought these crazy memories.
Be present. I think that's the answer to everybody. Be present. Put on educational events. Let people make their own decision. If the market's good, the market's not good.
But be there and have a voice. Be there and have a voice.
100%. Be present.
Yeah.
Bo, next.
Okay. The next question says, what are some content ideas to connect with my audience on a personal level, but still revolve around real estate?
I'll take this one at the start, and then you overlay it, buddy. Look, I always like to say that there's a more to you than a real estate agent. Now, when you're doing content, I think the question is based around social media. I'm just thinking, okay. So I like to live, and there's no scientific fact for this. It's just, look, in the absence of having some type of numbers or some type of hard lines, then I tend to see people do nothing. And so here's kind of my ratio. I like to go 60-40. 60% is educational content around real estate, investing and buying and selling. Give it all away, all the information. Teach people how to buy on their own. Teach people how to sell on their own. Teach people how to invest on their own. Don't worry, okay? They will come back to you. They're not going to do it on their own. We have the national statistics of how many people actually sell their own home. It's minuscule, like 2%. So you might as well be the authority on the way of becoming the authority when you get started anyways, of giving all that information for free. 60%. So out of 10 posts, 6 of them should be all real estate kind of related. 4 of them should be your commas. What else are you interested in? I know, if I didn't know Simos from a business perspective, if I looked at his profile, okay, and then the content that came out in terms of in the algorithm, I would know he's a husband, he's a father, he likes to cook, he likes bikes, he likes boating, he likes some sports, he likes tattoos, he likes this. Like, already I gave you 7 things. Now, the reason you want to do 4 out of 10, again, you could go, it's not a hard line number, but those 4 out of 10 posts, if he now puts out all the stuff that I know about him, and he's doing that. That's, in the example, I don't know who Simos is. There's a good chance I'm going to connect with him with one of those things. Why? I'm a husband. I'm a father. I like sports. I'm starting to want to cook a little bit more. Okay? Everything else, I don't really give a shit. I'm not a biker. I don't boat. So I'm not going to connect with him on that stuff. But he's going to maybe put out a post talking about gratefulness about being a father. And that might resonate with me. And if that resonates with me, I'm going to possibly maybe go check in and say, what does this guy really do? Shit, there's all these other 6 out of 10 posts. There's about him educating about real estate. Fuck, he kind of knows looks like he knows what he's talking about. Ooh, that's a good tip. Let me reach out to him. That's how it actually goes down in terms of doing yes, stick with your real estate content. Just don't do it at 100%. Show people what I call your comma. Real estate agent, comma, what else are you? What else is there about you? Simos?
Yeah, and if you went down being authentic and in attracting people based on your own content and your authenticity and who you are.
And other parts of you is what I was trying to articulate.
100%. So I do like that. For those who like to keep their personal lives personal, because there's many of those, and they're like, well, what kind of content can I create to be authentic without showing myself? Well, it's a little bit of a trick question, but there are things you can do. And for those who like to keep their private life private completely and not show that aspect of themselves, the concierge services might be your solution.
Elaborate.
The concierge service is something that we implemented almost 14 years ago. It was 2012, I believe, actually, where we brought on Ty.
Yeah.
And Tyler is he's actually the vice president of our consumer division, of our portfolio managers. And his job and role, we met him as a waiter. He was a waiter at an establishment that we had lunch at. And once, twice, three times, this kid would just blow our minds in the service that he gave us. So one day, we sit down, we're like, hey man, like, would you be willing to give yourself the way you give yourself here outside of the restaurant space? He goes, what are you talking about? We're trying to build a concierge division where we want to give world-class service. That's kind of our motto to our clients in real estate. Please explain. Long story short, we onboard him, and this kid built a division, and we built content around it and an entire business around it where anybody can. And this is my advice to you. So how do you create content that's not sales of real estate, but rather service to others? So you can create content surrounding connecting. So you, instead of telling somebody that you can connect them with an electrician, the next time that you're at a home visit with your client and there's an electrical problem and there's an electrician there, you can say, hey, I'm here with Johnny. Johnny works for AAA Electric, and we're here to show you how to fix aluminum wiring to make it serviceable for the insurance company and all the myriad of different things. But showing people the value that you can bring outside of just the sale of the home, how you do support them before and after the sale. And this content is specifically to real estate, but not real estate sales.
I love that.
So there are many ways to do it, and by all means, ask Jas.
No, but I mean, I think,
Jas, bro.
well, it's kind of today's podcast episode thing. Yes, in terms of that concierge, I love that you said that, because I just made a move to a credit card where I pay like $1,000 a year for it now, or something like that, which is pretty big compared to all of our other business credit cards. And the main reason I did it, buddy, is the concierge service that they have. So just to Simos's point, just to elaborate a little bit and unpack that for you, in terms of our concierge service, ours is not like you call us to book a hotel. Our concierge is everything in and around the home. Electrician, landscaper, like we're not going to book you Blue Jay tickets. Catch us on a day we probably would anyways, depending on what time.
Knowing Tyler.
Yeah, knowing Tyler, he would. However, this credit card, it does all that stuff. So for me, I was like, whoa, like I'm starting to do a lot more talks around North America, the world. Travel. I'm like, fuck, I kind of need that. And it comes with my card. I can get away.
Your assistance day of not having to worry
100%.
It's valuable to you.
Right, it's valuable to me. Exactly. And so for the content in terms of doing it with the electrician, I love that, because you're also going to tap into the electrician's network. He or she's going to tap into your network. Oh.
The next question we have says, how do you handle the balance of all the tasks between your business life and your personal life?
I'll let you take this first.
Work-life balance questions are not
our expertise.
Our expertise. Just joking. When you get into this business, I think the biggest wake-up call for many is that they believe, I think people have this idea of what work-life balance is. If you were to ask my partner in life, Caroline Papailias, do I have work-life balance? She would say that absolutely not. I am a savage workaholic. If you ask me, nonetheless, do I think I have work-life balance? The answer is that I have my work-life balance. And what I'm trying to say, and this isn't denial or making different names or all the things. Everybody needs to do themselves. I find happiness in my work. So my work is not something that's imposed on me or something I do because I have to. I was able to pay my bills 20 years ago before I got into real estate, and I would pay my bills just as the same if I had to go work for someone and do that. All of this to say this. My work is my life, and my life is my work. If I have to take a call on a vacation, I don't see that as a bad thing. I see that to be so blessed to be able to be on vacation with my family, and that somebody feels the need to talk to me and find value knowing that I'm on vacation, is I'm going to take that call.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a value on that call. Oh, it's worth 20,000. That's why I'm taking the call. No. If I told my team that they can call me if they need to, they know the type of urgency they need to have. So somebody might say, well, that's not work-life balance. You're not living your life. You're working on your
vacation.
I'm doing what's important to me.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a genius in all this whole thing called life, but that is an important question. I know people are always looking for an opinion on it.
Yep.
And simply my opinion is that if you love what you do, and you're doing it for that reason, you'll never have to ask that question. You'll never question I spend 99% of mornings, my day starts at 10 a.m. Because at 5:30 when I get up, I give myself time in the gym.
Yeah.
I wake up my kids with kisses and hugs. I make breakfast, or my wife is making breakfast while we get ready for the day, and I don't get to the office till 10. That doesn't mean I don't work till 11 p.m. if I want to have that luxury.
Exactly. And if you
I'll
did
do what I need to do.
Yeah, if you went 10 to 6, because that's what you did, and then you had to go,
But then I unplug it, but I do. So
Yeah,
I unplug
I
at
know.
5:30,
Yeah.
and I don't look at my phone again till 8:30. But at 8:30, I might have to pick up my phone and my laptop for an hour, 15 minutes, 2 hours, do what I need to do to facilitate that special time with my children during dinner, during pickups of pianos, karates, and the nonsense of life. But my business will not suffer because that is my favorite. I don't know how to else explain.
Well, no. You did a great job, buddy. A fantastic job, because you actually told them how you do it, and I think that's important. I think the value that I'll add to this question is high level. I think a lot of people ask that question because they're judging themselves so much.
Or they're being judged.
Well, they're being judged because they probably judge themselves and they judge other people.
Yep.
Right? And so one side hack is if you want to stop feeling
Get
like
off the
you're
high
being
horse.
judged,
Just get
stop
off the high
fucking
horse.
judging other
That's
people.
right.
Like, who the fuck are you, right? Like, and who the fuck am I in CMOS? One thing I think you'll notice with
This is
CMOS,
why we always apologize in advance.
yeah, I know. One thing you'll notice really quickly with CMOS, just through the way that he was answering that, and I obviously know him a lot more than the average bear, but the fact that he doesn't really give a shit what other people are thinking about him, so he's not being judged. So you also don't get to see, I'm staying kind of high level in answering this question, is you don't see the 5:30 to 10. Right? You don't see what you're doing. You figured that out. And here's the micro and the tactical answer I'm going to give you. And you answered it in your story. But for everyone else, time block. I know it's boring,
100.
overused. You could do this. If you need to do it on a piece of paper, do it. You obviously know he just does it on his own. He knows from 5:30 in the morning he's waking up, he's going to do his workout stuff.
Because there is no other time.
Boom. Okay,
So
exactly.
if that doesn't happen, it's gone.
Okay, and if you don't wake up your kids, okay, you're not going to see them that morning, and then you're probably there knowing you're making them breakfast and all that and stuff like that. Okay, so that's time block. That in itself is time block. Then he's like 10 o'clock, and some days he's going to go till 10 p.m. not coming home, and some days, majority of them, you're probably trying to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to be home by 6:30. I'm going to have supper with my kids again, or dinner, and then I'm going to go back on to work.
And that, of course, is our own choice.
100%.
So again, depending on what your business goals are and what you're trying to achieve in your relationships, if you don't have children, you don't have to worry about that.
Yep.
If you don't want to stay a dominant force in the investment real estate world, you don't have to pick up your laptop at 8 to 11. If you don't want to have a partner who knows what you're doing, me and you today chose to be on a phone call at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m.
You text me at 6:45 today.
To say, hey, what's your morning look like? You just call me right now because I'm on the road. Done.
Here's real life, though, for everyone, right? Like, you're going to go through seasons in your life, not just the 4 seasons that you have in a year, right? So in your life, this is real life in terms of the example I'm about to give you. Simeon and I, in the last couple of years, decided that we were able to somewhat design our businesses around our life.
That's right.
5:30 in the morning, I'm going to be with the kids. That's like, okay. Now, this year, for the first time since maybe 4 years ago, maybe 5 even during COVID, where we were like, oh shit, we really got to get back to this. We're talking to each other at 6:45 in the morning.
By choice, by intention, by design.
Like 6:45 in the morning is our first phone call. 7 o'clock in the morning is our first phone call because we're going through a season now, which is, okay, put your fucking hard hat on. We're going to go lay some fucking bricks.
We're going in.
And we're going to go pounding. And if you ask the team around us right now, they'll all say the same thing. We haven't seen this intensity. Half my guys haven't even seen you. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right? They've seen you more in the last 2 weeks than they've ever seen you.
Correct.
And they've been with me for fucking years or a year and a half or whatever it is, right? They can see the intensity in my voice when I'm talking to them sometimes, or just like, here, I got 2 seconds. What's your question? I'll give you your fucking answer and let me move on.
Yep.
Not because I don't love you. Remember the times I did love you?
That's right.
I was with you the whole time, but sorry, guys, I wasn't making as much money. Right? So you go through seasons.
This is just it. In prioritizing what matters is important. And as you grow in business, you understand how to prioritize better and better. And you realize soon enough that your job is actually not to do anything else but prioritize.
Yeah.
I find my job is solely making decisions on what to prioritize.
Yep.
When I speak to you at 6:45, it's not because we have nothing else to do, but it's because the decisions I make that day, you need to be made aware of, so you can make decisions that are in line or not with what we're going down the path on.
100%.
So that's true leadership and partnership, and I have a hard stop, and God bless you all.
Well, no, hang on. We might have one more question, or was that was the last question?
It's the last question that we have.
Fucking good time. You know the insides more than I do.
Let's
That's
go.
actually really cool. Really quickly, as that last question in terms of work-life balance and all that kind of stuff, just understand that you can always create a business around your life. It doesn't need to be the other way around. I think the quickest hack is actually getting help. You got to leave money on the table, i.e. virtual assistants, real life assistants, because I know for both of us, without our girls, there's no way that we would be late for every appointment. We're always late already, but we would be even more late without the help
and
of
get
other people.
out of the business of boxing yourself into judgment zones. Oh, if I do this, then I'm not living my work-life balance. How about you live your life? Stop judging people and stop feeling judged.
I love it.
Start living, breathing your own air, and you'll see how that changes and how quickly it changes.
I couldn't have closed off that one any better than my partner just did. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Go to meetjastakhar.com/podcast. meetjastakhar.com/podcast to get your questions answered. See you next week and have the best week ever.